Oh yeah. Welcome back. I'm talking to myself because there's only me here right now. Oh, check that out. It's called Philly Crew and it's available free on YouTube for those that want it, but I guess that's not why you're here, is it, to listen to this music? So we'll just turn that down in the background. There you go. So you got just me now. Well, maybe there's a little bit in the background. We're talking about today. We're talking about I can't even say this. I've only just started. Look, I'm in a mess. What we're talking about is exit strategy. Right. So this week I've been trading in and out of this move. This is my pair, the only pair I trade. I still say it. Best thing I ever did was moving to just one pair. Anyway, this pair, pound New Zealand dollar, GBP, NZD. This is sort of how I trade. I look at the 1 hour and 15, but I also look at the 4 hour. But this week, I've thought to myself, what a muppet. Why didn't I ride all of this move? Why was I in and out overnight? I didn't. Obviously, there's a swap charge if I'm buying all week. But it would have by far outweighed how much it cost me if I'd have held the trades. Because my pip winnage would have been quite a lot. And if instead of just going back in, I could have just added to each trade. So I'd have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. I'd have been effectively in a really good position by now. And according to the exit strategy, I've sort of discovered and thought, yes, I can use that as an exit strategy. Well, actually, I didn't discover it as an exit strategy. It was supposed to be an entry strategy, and I thought, you know what? That'd be really good as an exit. And an exit. Oh, God, can somebody pass me a mouth I can use? Oh my God. Oh, excuse. Oh, get a grip, boy. If that's still there. Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, action. Right, listen, I'm just going to put this shit on the chart so you can see what I'm talking about. Right, exit strategy coming right up. Slowly, and here it is. So what it is don't walk away just because it's a moving average. I know I don't use them for trading, but this is going to open your eyes to possibilities if you're trading smaller time frames like this. Possibilities for keeping in the trade longer, getting more money. I've stopped laughing now. It's only temporary, I'm sure. Oh, that noise, if you heard it, was my candle thing, and I have that so that I haven't got to keep staring at the charts. When the new candle arrives, it goes clonk, and that makes me look at it, and I can have that quite loud. I haven't got to be in the room. I can be out doing jobs around the house or anything like that. Right, so what we do then is get a moving average. So we'll start from the beginning. So it's in your indicators, trend moving average, for those that don't already know. Just drag it, drop it in your chart. And then the period is 20, so that's 20 bars average. And the type is simple, and you apply to the low. And then we get this moving average again. We have a second moving average. And we do exactly the same. 20 periods, simple, we attach it to the high. So what that gives you is a bit like a band, really, but it's not like a Bollinger Band. It doesn't get bigger as such. It is and it isn't. It does change shape a little bit, but it's not like a Bollinger Band that swells up and then. And the basic rule here is that unless it closes inside here or below it, I suppose, I'm not quite sure yet, but while it's above here, there's no reason for you to get out, is there? You see what I mean? So had you got in on maybe this engulfing candle or something like that, I enter on the 15 minutes, so it's hard for me to say where you would enter here. But had you entered here and you thought, okay, you wouldn't enter there. This one is where you might enter. Or even here, who knows? It's broke here. So let's say you entered here, it's broke there, pulled back, broke through again, you know, with an engulfing candle, would carry it on all the way up. And then you could have, if you'd held on to that, you'd be on a 500 pip position now in 3 days. less than 3 days actually. But whether you'd hold it over the weekend, I don't know. But so far, so good. And I'm not holding at the minute. I've come out. I've been in and out this week. Not much today and not much yesterday because I was out. But I've managed one trade today, just towards the end, which has given me a good result. After my spanking, I'm back on track for the retirement plan, which I think I've mentioned before on the odd video. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Anyway, so that's all it is really. It's not, we're not trying to be clever here. Now, you could use them for entry if you wanted. Now, this person that I was reading the article from, they'd said that 2 bars outside of the range signifies a bull trend. Okay, that's right there. And is that a bear trend? No, but it's the general direction. I mean, you could probably... So you've got 2 bars outside there, and there's a 100 pip spike in that, but it's soon back down. Although these are 1 hour candles, that's quite a long time when you're waiting. So you've got 2 bars. I don't know if that's I don't know if you... This is something you could have a look at anyway and just go through it yourself. I mean, when it trends, when you get the big moves, you could be hanging on in here if you wanted to, and you could probably set your stop loss in some kind of area here, thinking, well, if it gets... Obviously, this is a reasonable place. I don't know actually, but because you wouldn't, this is overnight, so I'm not sure you'd be watching that. But I definitely think it's worth some mileage, and I definitely think it's worth having on your chart. I probably wouldn't use it for an entry, but I would use it for continuation and exit potentially, because you're holding on right now because it's definitely continuing. An incredible move that is. I mean, look at that, it's from start to finish from this one here. At the moment, it's 600 and odd pips, 650 pips, I think it is, thereabouts. So that's pretty good. But if you put the same averages on here, you'll see that it becomes a possible way to enter, given this current strength in place. Do it again. Let me just get the low on here. Right. Okay. So you've got entry points there, haven't you? If you're trying, so you got to. You've engulfed out of it there. I'll be honest with you, I think I entered this earlier anyway. I think that's where I took my money today. Quick 50 pips, very nice day. Doesn't take long either. I can't remember what time it was. No, I think it was here. I think I'd got in... I don't know where I got... I can't remember. I don't analyse I think I got in off the back of this strength here and then took about 50 off the table, which is nice. But if you look at that, I could have stayed in forever if I'd have looked at that. But... I thought it's probably a bit too late to try and ride that now. I need to wait for a pullback and a breakthrough, I would have thought. So the price will just drop down and then poke back through. And then if it looks right when it goes through, maybe it's going to carry on at that point. But that's a big move, that is. It might even make 1,000 pips. I mean, look at the strength here. This is strong. The thing I've noticed, by the way, is these wicks in bull trend particularly... or in the bear trend, as long as if it's in a sort of a reasonable strength move, these wicks, they nearly always get filled. Particularly if you've got a strong bar like this one. So it's a strong bar in the first place, and it's broke through there, you think, oh, that's it, it's all, and the amount of people that would be selling that would be probably massive. But I've noticed these wicks fill, and you could have traded that wick. In fact, I was going to, but I thought, no, it's Friday. I've had a pretty good week. I don't want to end on a low, so I just kept it as it. And I look back now and I regret it. So anyway, that's something to play with. It's some food for thought. I mean, you could, because this is in this position, you could maybe use this for entries broke through. But I mean, I just enter on price action. To be honest, this is one of my entries here. This nice shaved top and engulfing candle. I mean, look at the engulf on that. And then I think I probably got out at some point. Obviously, because I'm not still in it. But that's my kind of entry. Those are. I'm a bit dubious with pin bars unless they're in the right place now, because I've realised that often what they mean is the price wants to go there, but it couldn't get there that time, and it'll probably go again. Right. Now listen. I'd like to stay around, but I've got the Sinclair C5 outside. I've charged up the batteries, and I need to just have a go, give it clean. The wheels are looking a bit shabby, I might go out and see if I can impress a few girls tonight in the Sinclair C5. Hi girls, they call me Mr. Sinclair. Would you like to come a ride? Alright, leave you a bit of music as I like to check this out. Oh, don't tell me that's the bloody end. You can't believe it, can you? I'm getting worse at this. You can see why I've never been a DJ. I've never actually wanted to be a DJ. That's probably something to do with it. Alright, I'll leave you a bit more of this music because it is quite good. And it's called... What's it called again? Oh, that's it. It's called Philly Crew. Spelled P-H, I assume it's Philadelphia. Philly Crew, available on YouTube. So long, the Sinclair C5 awaits. And if you don't know what one is, Google Sinclair C5 vehicle. Bye! Did you wait for the end? If you did, this is where it takes place. The end.